I'll start out by just asking you a little bit about yourself, what you do for a living, how you came to be in Jeff City.
Sounds great. Well, thanks, Brandon, for having me. How I came to be in Jeff City. Well, I was born in 1964 in Cape Girardeau when my mom and dad were both at SEMO, and they got to Jefferson City about as fast as they could after that. Went K through 12 in Jefferson City, Jaybird. Very proud of it. And my wife currently teaches in the school district. My sister teaches in the school district. My aunt's there as well at the high school. My daughter Megan is a junior at JC, and my son Ross is in 7th grade at Thomas Jefferson Middle School. We moved back to Jeff City almost 14 years ago. Elena and I have been married 20 years, and we look for ways to get back to Jeff City, a great place to raise our family and know people, and it's such a giving community. With my strong ties to the school district, it just made sense for me to give it a shot 9 years ago and run for the school board because of my children and my wife and my family and just the love of good old JC. What brought me back was state government. You know, we're a company town in Jefferson City, and that company and state government has been evolving over the last decade or so. My current position is with the National Biodiesel Board. We're a national nonprofit trade association. We represent fuel manufacturers from coast to coast. I'm the director of operations there, and just love every minute of it. Great industry, great people. We spend a lot of time in Washington, D.C. with the rest of the world asking for money, but the rest of the time is running programs to help improve emissions and fuel economy and fuel in general, alternative fuel in general in the United States.
Not a huge field of candidates, but a fairly nice sized field of candidates. What sets you apart from the rest?
Well, that's a great question. I really feel like after 9 years of service that I'm better prepared to serve now. You know, the first 3 years were great. We had a very senior board, learned a lot. I've had an opportunity to be board president for 3 years. Gives me a little bit of a deeper view of school operations, meet a lot more people. So I'd say experience, you know, a little bit. I hope this isn't old school. I hope it's old school and new school, but I really believe that, you know, I'm interviewing for a job with our community, and the body of work that I've been blessed to be a part of with 6 other members on the board and a terrific administrative team, a terrific set of staff and families in Jefferson City and Cole County. That experience, that body of work, I think affords me another shot. We've had a terrific 9 years. The list of accomplishments is very heartwarming for me when I take a look at it. You know, campaign, some people don't like it. Some people don't like asking for money, which is a necessary evil, and knocking on doors and just being gone all day, every day. But what I've seen, the campaign for me this past few months has been a really great time to reflect on what has been going on over the past decade, to study and just reconnect with people. So, you know, I hope that background of getting things done for our kids with the #1 focus on kids and families and teachers will give me another shot.
Your school district, separating it from a lot of districts, not only in Missouri but across the country, has done an impressive job of keeping afloat when it comes to the budget. You haven't had to really make a lot of cuts. You haven't had to lay people off, by and large. How do you continue to, at least for right now, the economy doesn't seem to be turning around at the moment, and the state continues to make education cuts. How do you keep that record of staying above water?
Right, good question. You know, we had Mike Reed from the Missouri School Board Association come in and speak to us at our last board meeting and talk about how this is going to be the worst budget year in over 40 years. I mean, we hear year in and year out this is going to be the worst budget year, but I think, you know, next year is going to be tough, but the year after that we've got a funding cliff. And, you know, we have some time to communicate, to plan, but to answer your question specifically, you know, it wasn't that many years ago, 2-3 years ago, before the current funding formula was enacted, that Jefferson City Public Schools was held harmless. And that meant we didn't receive any new state income for 10 years. And we complained about that a lot. But in hindsight, you know, we learned from that, and we learned how to go on a budget reduction program without harming classroom education, without harming teachers and our kids, of course. So that tightening of the belt over about a decade taught us to do more with less, and really set us on a good path. Dr. Turner Tyson at the time was our assistant superintendent in charge of finance. Did a terrific job. Now Jason Hoffman, our CFO, has done a terrific job managing our budget and keeping us abreast of everything that's out there. When I was elected, we had around 6 or 7% of our annual budget was in our reserves, and our auditor said we needed to have that number around 18%. And so through diligence and a keen focus on the budget, we've been able to raise that up to 27%. And we talked to our auditors and talked amongst our administrators and leaders and said we need that number to be around 20. But with the current fiscal picture the way it is, we're going to go a little slow. We just extended contracts for all staff at the same salary level and benefits as last year, and we hope that we'll be able to put some more money into teacher salaries, and that's certainly be my choice. But we just need to take a look at what's coming down from the state and the federal government first. But finally, I'll just say, from here, should I be reelected, and with this funding cliff coming, we just have to communicate, and over-communicate where we are, and we can't frivolously spend. We never have, but now we're really going to tighten up.
According to ACT scores released from August 2008 for the state, math and science scores were not good. Across the country, they've been not good, but Missouri showed some bad results as well. Is the district doing enough to prepare students in the math and science curricula?
Well, we've really looked at that over the last 3 or 4 years a little more acutely than we have prior to that. It's always been important. And we're often told, people in the education world, that we're behind in science and technology as it comes to the world. And you know, my feeling is we could always do better. If we're not trying to get better at something every day, then we're failing. All in all, these countries that we're talking about that we're getting beat by, you know, they take a small percentage of their kids and they turn them into elite kids, and they spend a lot of time trying to educate them. I'm very proud of what public educators do for all children from all walks of life to help them. Now, specifically, we've tweaked our curriculum at the middle school level to have more focus on science and math integration. We've brought in experts to look at our curriculum and see where we could tweak it as well. We're focused more on instruction instead of the softer classes and the softer schedules at the middle school level. We're looking at, you know, that old saying about, you know, what flows downhill, you know, so we're trying to get the high school together with the middle schools and with the elementary schools, and all talk more succinctly about how we prepare at each level in math and science, so that when the kids advance, they're ready to advance and we don't have to remedially teach once they go forward. So we're keenly aware of it and we're working on it, and our math and science teachers are some of the best in the state.